Mr. Chin been tending that same garden plot for 40 years in the same neighborhood lot. Every morning 5 a.m. without fail, watering and weeding, following the trail of seasons that he's memorized by now. Knows exactly when to plant and how deep to put each seed and when to wait for nature to deliver on its date. Asked him once what kept him coming back every single morning down that same track. He said, young man, the garden teaches you that everything good takes time to come through. You can't rush a tomato, you can't force a rose. You plant it right, and then the garden shows you. Patience shows you that control is just an illusion in an earth you have to trust.
The gardener's gospel, gardener's gospel, teaching what's essential and what's not fundamental. Gardener's gospel, gardener's gospel, life grows at its own pace, never accidental. You can't force what needs time to grow. Gardener's gospel, this is what I know. Plant the seeds and tend them every day. Gardener's gospel is the only way.
Watch them train a vine up the trellis slow. Each day a little higher, but you never know if you only checked it once and then moved on. Progress happens quiet from dusk to dawn, in increments so small they look like nothing much. But Mr. Chin said that's the magic touch of patience, is it looks like standing still until one day you see it reach the windowsill. 3 years of training one small vine, 3 years of showing up, rain or shine. That's what life requires if you wanna see something beautiful become what it could be. Whether it's a garden, whether it's a child, whether it's a dream that started out wild and impossible, the same rules apply. Water it with patience, watch it reach the sky.
The gardener's gospel, teaching what's essential and what's not fundamental. Gardener's gospel, life grows at its own pace, never accidental. You can't force what needs time to grow. Gardener's gospel, this is what I know. Plant the seeds and tend them every day. Gardener's gospel is the only way. Some seeds take years before they break ground. Don't mean they're not growing underground. Building roots before they show their face. Garden teaches trust in nature's pace.
Now I got a small plot of my own right beside Mr. Chin's, and I've grown not just vegetables and herbs and greens, but patience with myself and what it means to commit to something daily without rush, to show up to the work without the crush of expectation that it all pays off tomorrow or next week. Mr. Chin taught me that the real harvest isn't what you pick, it's what you become through the daily practice, thick with humility, with service to the earth. Garden taught me what my life is worth, not in what I produce, but in the care I bring to simple tasks and how I bear the disappointment when the frost comes early. Gardener's gospel made me worldly.
The gardener's gospel, teaching what's essential and what's not fundamental. Gardener's gospel, life grows at its own pace, never accidental. You can't force what needs time to grow. Gardener's gospel, this is what I know. Plant the seeds and tend them every day. Gardener's gospel is the only way. Gardener's gospel. Gardener's gospel.
There's a man they call Prophet on the Venice boards. Been there 20 years with his cardboard words written in marker about the way things are. People walk right past him, but he's seen the star of truth that most of us are too afraid to face. He sits there every day in the same exact place with a wisdom that you don't learn in school, talking about love, talking about the golden rule. To anyone who stops to really listen, his eyes got something in them that's still glistening with hope despite the hand that life dealt him. Nobody stopped to ask what overwhelmed him into homelessness, but he's not bitter, he's philosophical, he's a cosmic transmitter. A message is about what really matters while the world walks past him and their own life shatters. Boardwalk apostles, boardwalk apostles, teaching truth that all the scholars can't topple. Yeah. Boardwalk apostles, why the song? Boardwalk apostles, wisdom in the places we forgot to bottle, living proof that knowledge is wealth. Boardwalk apostles, teaching about self. Boardwalk apostles, and how to live with dignity intact. Boardwalk apostles, speaking facts. There's a woman playing saxophone at noon. Every day the same mellow Tyler tune. She used to play in orchestras in cities far before life circumstances left a scar that she carries with such grace and pride. You never know unless you sat beside her long enough to hear a story told of how she lost it all but kept her soul intact and whole, and still creating beauty out of nothing but her sense of duty to the music that lives inside her chest. She said, when you got nothing, you play your best, because there's no performance, no career to lose, just pure expression, just sharing the blues with whoever stops to listen for a minute. Boardwalk apostles got wisdom in it. You're boardwalk apostles, oh, boardwalk apostles, teaching truth that all the scholars can't topple. Boardwalk apostles, all the soul. Boardwalk apostles, wisdom in the places we forgot to bottle. Living proof that knowledge isn't wealth. Boardwalk apostles, teaching about self. Boardwalk apostles, and how to live with dignity intact. Boardwalk apostles, speaking facts. Sometimes the prophets don't come dressed in robe. Sometimes they're sitting on the road with cardboard signs and weathered hands, yeah, teaching lessons that nobody planned. Oh, I started really hearing what these boardwalk apostles were nearing. The truth of life stripped down to basics raw. Everything that educated folks never saw, because they're too busy climbing, too distracted by success and how it's transacted in the marketplace of egos and of pride. But boardwalk apostles, they provide a different kind of education, free about what it means to truly be a human being, stripped of all pretense about where real wisdom commences. Not in libraries, not in ivory towers, but in the people spending their hours just surviving, just existing still, with the grace that money never will. By your boardwalk apostles, understand what it means to be fully human. Boardwalk apostles, oh, boardwalk apostles, teaching truth that all the scholars can't topple. Oh, yeah. Boardwalk apostles, boardwalk apostles, wisdom in the places we forgot to bottle. Living proof that knowledge isn't wealth. Boardwalk apostles, teaching about self. Boardwalk apostles, and how to live with dignity intact. Oh, yeah. Boardwalk apostles, kind of song. Boardwalk apostles, living proof that knowledge isn't wealth. Boardwalk apostles, oh yeah, oh yeah. Boardwalk apostles.
Palm trees been standing since before my time. Roots deep in California soil and grime. Watching every generation come and go, bending in the storm, but never letting go of their position, never losing their ground. Something sacred in that wisdom I have found. They don't fight the wind, they lean and sway, yeah. Find a balance in their own authentic way. Grandmama used to say, watch the palms when trouble comes. They show you how to weather everything and then some. Don't go rigid when the pressure hits you hard. Let it move through you like wind across the yard. Palm trees standing 60 years still green, teaching me the art of the in-between, of holding strong while staying flexible enough to survive the California wind when it gets rough.
Palm tree philosophy, palm tree philosophy, palm tree philosophy, teaching me how to be exactly who I ought to be. Palm tree philosophy, palm tree philosophy, rooted deep and moving free along the western sea, standing tall through every storm that came to test. Palm tree philosophy, the way of the west, learning how to bend without breaking apart. Palm tree philosophy, wisdom from the start.
Watched them through my window every single day, from a kid until my hair started turning gray. 40 years of watching palms stand the ground, 40 years of learning what they never sound out loud, but showing how they live their life. Standing through the sunshine, standing through the strife. If California live in palm trees, understand the strength is not rigidity, but how you withstand everything that comes without losing who you are. Palm trees never tried to be an oak spar. With the nature they accepted what they were, stood in that acceptance, proud and sure. I learned more from palms than any book I read about the kind of roots a man had has to feed every day with honest work and honest truth. Palm tree philosophy from my youth.
Palm tree philosophy, palm tree philosophy, palm tree philosophy, teaching me how to be exactly who I ought to be. Palm tree philosophy, palm tree philosophy, rooted deep but moving free along the western sea, standing tall through every storm that came to test. Palm tree philosophy, the way of the west, learning how to bend without breaking apart. Palm tree philosophy, wisdom from the start. Storms come every year without fail, but the palms remember every tale of how they made it through before. That's what their roots are for.
Now I'm teaching it to my daughter as we walk. Underneath the palms we stop and talk about how life is going to test her strong, how she needs to find a way to get along with who she is while still adapting to whatever winter change is blowing through her life, her world, a generation new. Palm tree philosophy will carry you through, just like it carried me, just like it will carry every California kid who learns to marry. Strength with flexibility, truth with grace, standing tall while knowing when to embrace the bend, the sway, the give and take of living in a world that tries to break your spirit, but you stand there green and tall. Palm tree philosophy, you catch your fall.
Palm tree philosophy, palm tree philosophy, palm tree philosophy, teaching me how to be exactly who I ought to be. Palm tree philosophy, palm tree philosophy, rooted deep and moving free along the western sea, standing tall through every storm that came to test. Palm tree philosophy, the way of the west, learning how to bend without breaking apart. Palm tree philosophy, wisdom from the stars. Palm tree philosophy, 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 palm tree philosophy.
Used to be, you knew everybody's name, every face, every door, every kid that came down the block on bikes in summer heat. Marina Del Rey when it was still complete, with working folks and artists barely making rent before the tech money and where it went, changing every storefront, every view into something expensive, something new. But I'm still here at 63 years old, watching my city slowly being sold to the highest bidder, to the latest trend, and I'm holding on until the very end. Not with anger, not with hate or bitter words, just with dignity like I have heard. My father taught me when his neighborhood changed, stay true to yourself even when rearranged. Marina Del Grey, Marina Del Grey, my hair and my city turning the same way. Marina Del Grey, Marina Del Grey, still beautiful just in a different way. Time changes everything, that's the law. Marina Del Grey, still in awe of what it was and what it's becoming to. Marina Del Grey, I'm growing with you. Coffee shop where I've been going 20 years, owner sold it last month, left in tears. New place, charge $7 for a cup, but I still go, I'm not giving up on the ritual on the morning light, coming through those windows just right at 7:30 when I read the news. Same seat, same view, same coffee blues, playing soft while tourists take their pics of Venice Beach and all its tricks. They don't know the history, don't know the past, don't know which buildings weren't meant to last, but were beautiful in their impermanence there. Like everything worth loving, nothing spare, from time, from change, from the way things flow. Marina Del Grey taught me to let go.
Marina Del Grey, Marina Del Grey,
my hair and my city turning the same way. Marina Del Grey, Marina Del Grey, still beautiful just in a different way. Time changes everything, that's the law. Marina Del Grey, still in awe of what it was and what it's becoming to. Marina Del Grey, yeah. Gray hair doesn't mean you're done, just means you've seen a lot of sun. Marina and me, we've earned these shades of silver in our golden days. Grandson asked me why I stay around when everything I knew was underground.
beneath the condos and the money towers. I told him home is not about the powers that change the buildings or inflate the cost. Home is what you carry, what's not lost when everything material shifts and moves. Home is in the sunset and the grooves of how you walk your streets, regardless of the name. Above the stores, the essence stays the same if you hold it in your heart. If you believe that what you love about a place won't leave. When the exteriors all get renovated, the spirit of a place is never outdated. Marina Del Grey and me, we age together, both still beautiful in different weather. Marina Del Grey, Marina Del Grey, my hair and my city turning the same way. Marina Del Grey, Marina Del Grey, still beautiful just in a different way. Time changes everything, that's the law. Marina Del Grey, still in awe of what it was and what it's becoming to. Marina Del Grey, I'm going with you. Marina Del Grey, my hair and my city turning the same way. Marina Del Grey, Marina Del Grey, still beautiful just in a different way. Time changes everything, that's the law. Marina Del Grey, still in awe of what it was and what it's becoming to. Marina Del Grey, growing with you.